Majority of these mixed race content creators that I've come across on YouTube and that I've interacted with on YouTube, they don't know what a Creole is. They don't know what it is. They have an idea of what it is. They don't really know. They don't really understand. And they just like to flap their lips and make comments and say things when they're uninformed and they don't even know what they're talking about. You know, even Ancestry.com doesn't even have a full understanding. Pitiful. I can tell just from the way that they worded this on my Ancestry.com result and other people's Ancestry.com results. And from what I've seen, like you had one dude who I was going back and forth with, another content creator that I was going back and forth with for almost 2 years. He made the claim that Creole, the term Creole, is underneath the umbrella of blackness. And that is not correct. That is not true. You're just looking at things from the from the viewpoint of Anglo-American culture. Anglo-American culture has basically, they have an agenda, or maybe not an agenda. They basically have already tried doing it and they're still trying their hardest to do it. They're trying to make Louisiana Creoles a subgroup or a subcategory of African Americans, a subgroup. You know what I'm saying? And Louisiana Creoles are not a subgroup for African Americans. It's not a subcategory of African Americans. See, but the thing is that Louisiana was purchased by America because originally Louisiana was its own nation, its own country. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was New France. It was a part of the New France. Okay, but America started with New England or New York, like the Northeast coast. Okay, that's how the United States began. Originally, Louisiana was not a part of the United States. It was a part of New France, and it was a part of New Spain. And then it was purchased by the United States. Okay. Louisiana Creoles are a Latin American ethnic group. Okay, it's a Latino ethnic group. Okay. African Americans are not Latino. They are Anglo-American. Okay. Two different ethnic groups. Two different ethnic groups. We are related. We do have a similar history, but we're not the same thing. Okay. Louisiana Creole and African American is not the same thing. Louisiana Creoles are not a subgroup of African Americans. You see what happened, right? After America purchased Louisiana and Louisiana became a part of the United States, Louisiana Creoles and African Americans started to intermingle with one another, okay? Because now we're a part of the same country, and now black people in Louisiana and black people from Louisiana are now placed under the African American category. Even Louisiana Creoles are now placed under the African American category if they are of African descent. If they're a mulatto or if they're fully black and they are Louisiana Creole, by law in the year 2025, you are legally placed underneath the bracket of African American. But that is not true. Just because you're placed underneath that category under the law does not make it the truth. Okay? We were just colonized by another nation. That's all. Okay? It's really a triple colonization because France colonized the land first. Then Spain. Spain didn't really colonize it. Spain just purchased it. But I mean, it's a form of colonization, if you want to call it that. And same thing with the United States. They purchased it. So maybe not colonized, but kind of similar, similar enough. So yeah, you know, if you were to call if you were to call Louisiana Creoles a subcategory for African Americans, then you would also have to say the same thing about Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Haitians. Are they also subcategories for African Americans? No, of course not. They are their own ethnic group. Are we all related? Yes. Do we share a similar history? Yes. But we're different ethnic groups with a different history and a different culture. Okay? Simple. So, no, Louisiana Creoles are not a subcategory for African Americans. That's actually kind of disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? We are our own thing. You know what I'm saying? Yes, underneath the law in 2025, yes, many Louisiana Creoles, if not the majority of them, are considered African American, but that's still not the truth. Okay, it's not the truth. That's not true. Okay, Louisiana Creoles have intermingled with African Americans, so now many African Americans have Louisiana Creole ancestry, but they only have like, you know, they have like admixtures. Like they have, they might have had like a great, 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 great grandparent from 300 years ago that was Louisiana Creole, and it might show up on their genealogy or ancestry test or whatever. But so it's like, yeah, these African Americans, many African Americans might have Louisiana Creole ancestry, but it's not close enough. Like they're not connected to it. They're not connected to it as much as I'm connected to it. Like my my great grandmother was a full blown Louisiana Creole. She was alive when I was alive. When I was maybe 6, 7, 8 years old. My great grandmother was still alive. I was here to meet her and speak with her and see her and know what she looks like and everything. Her main language was Louisiana French. That's what she spoke. She spoke Creole French. That was her main language. She was a full blown Louisiana Creole. So it's like an African American who might have some Louisiana Creole ancestry is not the same as me having an actual grandparent that I met, knew, you know what I'm saying, and everything, saw with my own two eyes. Okay, full blown Louisiana, it's not the same. And I'm actually from Louisiana, born and raised. I wasn't raised my entire childhood in Louisiana, but majority of it. But yeah, it's not the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so yeah, you have some African Americans who have Louisiana Creole ancestors, but they're not really like, they're not as connected to the culture and everything, like not in the same way I am. Like it's not even a comparison, you know what I'm saying? They just got like a little drop of it from 300 years ago. Me, I'm directly connected to it. Directly, you know what I'm saying? So it's not the same thing. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not. And just because they got some little Creole ancestry from 300 years ago, it's like, it's not the same thing. It's not, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't give them the right to just come out and say, Louisiana Creoles are Black Americans. No, we're not. No, they're not. You know what I'm saying? And some Louisiana Creoles are not even of African descent. You know what I'm saying? Like the real original Louisiana Creoles were European white people, and that's just a fact. Um, and you even got some people in Louisiana to this day who don't want to accept that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. You even got a lot of people in Louisiana that are just ignorant. They don't even understand the culture themselves, and that's pitiful. You know, yes, the majority of Louisiana Creoles are mixed race or black, but Louisiana Creoles originally were white people. You know what I'm saying? That's not even hard to understand. That's not even rocket science. That's really just basic. Like, you should just know that already. You know, and if you're from Louisiana and you still don't, like I said, man, there's a lot of people from Louisiana and they don't even understand the history or the culture of Louisiana, and they just be looking silly, man. You know, they be looking real silly, you know, pitiful and pathetic, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that and touch on that because Ancestry.com, you know, they had the nerve to try to make that connection. Louisiana Creoles and African Americans, like they think they slick. Come on, man. Like Louisiana Creoles and African American is not the same thing, man. You know what I'm saying? You could have worded it differently. You could have said Louisiana Creoles of African descent, or they could have said Louisiana Creoles of color. Like, let me show y'all something. Because on one part of my ancestry test, it says early Louisiana Creoles and African Americans. So they just had the nerve to throw the African American in there as if it's the same thing. And as if, you know, it's not the same thing, man. Stop trying to be slick, okay? So they did that. But then when you come to the other part of my test, it says Southern Louisiana French settlers, okay? Southern Louisiana French settlers. These were the original Creoles. These are the original Creoles right here, the Louisiana French settlers. These were the original Creole. They were Creole, were they not? Last time I checked, these were Creole people. But they didn't put it in the description. They just said Southern Louisiana French settlers. It's just errors, man, errors. Or not errors, but, fabricated, things here and there, you know. But yeah, man, they think they slick, man. Louisiana Creoles and African Americans are not the same thing, man. It's not. Louisiana Creoles have influenced African Americans in certain ways, and they have intermingled with one another. So now you have certain little groups of African Americans here and there who might have Louisiana Creole ancestry, so that's where the connection comes into play. But like I said, if we're using that logic that Louisiana Creoles are a subgroup of African Americans, then you would basically have to say the same thing about Puerto Ricans. You would have to say the same thing about Dominicans. Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, especially Puerto Ricans, have played a influence in African American culture and history and have intermingled with African Americans in places like New York City in particular, but other places as well. So like I said, if we're going to use that logic, then you would have to say the same thing about Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and Haitians. And we know that's not going to happen because those people will never let that happen. Those people know that they are their own ethnic group. They don't want to be boxed in with Black Americans, even if they are Black themselves. They still understand that they are their own ethnic group.